My brothers and sisters, let's move now to the first hadith, which is very important in this book, Riyadh al-Salihin. This hadith is in Bukhari and in Muslim. And the narrator is Abi Hafs Umar ibn al-Khattab radiyallahu anhu. He says, the Prophet ﷺ said, إنما الأعمال بالنيات وإنما لكل امرئ ما نوى فمن كانت هجرته إلى الله ورسوله فهجرته إلى الله ورسوله ومن كانت هجرته لدنيا يصيبها أو امرأة ينكحها فهجرته إلى ما هاجر إليه. This is a hadith everybody should memorize and learn and teach your children. The hadith is as follows. The deeds are considered by their intentions. Deeds are considered by their intentions. And a person will get the reward according to his intention. So whoever emigrated for Allah and His Messenger, for example, his emigration will be for Allah and His Messenger. And whoever emigrated for worldly benefits or for a woman to marry, for example, his emigration would be for what he emigrated for. Now, of course, these are just two examples that Rasulullah is giving, but they're just examples. You can add more. Anything we do in our life, there are two things about it. The first part, he says, the deeds are considered by their intention. Then he says, and a person will get the reward according to his intention. Now, people might think they're the same wordings, they're the same meaning, but they are not. They're actually two different meanings. One is talking about the action itself, and the other one is talking about what you will gain from that action. All right. Now that you understood that part, let's move to the first line. Actions are by intentions. What is the nature of the action? What is the purpose? Well, by your intention. My brothers and sisters, these actions are based on three cases. Number one, to know the nature of this action, our intention will determine the validity of an action of worship. So the first thing about the nature of an action, our intentions will tell us about whether an action is valid or not valid. Example, if I'm going to make wudu, do I need an intention? Yes, I do. So certain actions of worship need an intention in order for the action to be valid. If I want to pray my Salat al-Dhuhr, do I need an intention? Yes. If I want to fast Ramadan, do I need an intention? If I'm going to Hajj, do I need an intention? All these acts of worship are stated in the Quran and Sunnah. You need to have the right intention. And the whole idea of the intention is, when you come to make wudu, you say Bismillah, your intention is already in your heart that you're making wudu. So there's no problem. The only time your wudu will no longer be valid is when you make a different intention. And for example, if I come to wash my hand, my face, my legs, my arms, my head, just like, wudu. But my intention is not for wudu. My intention is just to rub off the dirt that's on my face, hands and legs. I have no intention of wudu. Does it become wudu? No, it doesn't. If I come to pray, but my intention is not to pray, my intention is just to have a bit of exercise movement, is the prayer valid? No. So it needs the right intention. I'm coming to pray, I'm coming to make wudu. So that's the first thing. Intention tells us the validity of the action. Number two, to determine the type of worship that I'm doing, I need the right intention. For example, if I'm praying the Fard prayer and I'm praying the Sunnah prayer, do I need a different intention for both of them? Yeah, I do. If I'm come to pray the Fard prayer, my intention is to pray the Fard. But now I'm praying the Sunnah, my intention is Sunnah, correct? If I'm going to give Zakat, my intention has to be Zakat. If I'm giving normal charity, my intention is normal charity. So this is the second case of what intentions does. Number three, to determine whether it's worship or everyday habits. My intention determines whether it's everyday habits or worship. Example, if I am doing ghusl, bathing for Jumu'ah, for Friday, because I'm doing it because it is a sunnah, it is a recommended act in Islam to bathe for Friday prayer, because I want to meet Allah while I'm bathed and clean. Now, bathing can be an everyday act, or you can turn it into an act of worship. Isn't that correct? So if my intention to bathe on Thursday night or Friday morning is for the purpose of the blessing of Friday, suddenly that bathing becomes an act of worship. But if I have no intention about the blessed day of Jumu'ah, and I just bathe because for the sake of it, is it an act of worship anymore? No. It becomes a halal act of cleaning yourself. Correct? Alright. If I have an intention to bathe because in Islam it is fitrah and good for a Muslim to be clean, so that when they pray, does it become an act of worship? Yes, it does. So the intention determines the action, if it's worship or it's just a normal day-to-day action. At the end of the day, what determines it is what you do in your heart.